Evening, folks. Phil Gallagher of Thraben University here, yet again for another, what will hopefully be awesome Legacy stream. Thanks again to my friend Michael H. for donating to make this deck list happen. So what are we playing? Essentially, we are playing blue-green lands. So, I don't know if you've heard, but, there's this new Planeswalker in town, and he's kind of okay. So we can shove him into pretty much any deck and go and make it work. So there have been some bug lands, some rug lands. There's all sorts of lands built splashing for Oko, sort of like we saw them running Ren and 6 before. It's just nice to have some value stuff in the deck. And speaking of value, how would you feel about something that tutored for both halves of the Dark Depths combo in one card? And it's also a 6/6 trampler. You like it? And you like it better if we make it uncounterable? Well, okay, I'm in. So, in addition to the normal lands like Crop Rotation, Exploration, Life from the Loam, Mox Diamond type stuff, we have Sylvan Libraries, Okos, and Primeval Titans. Otherwise, we have 35 lands. I'm going to highlight a couple of things in here. Most of it is stock-ish. Alright, so we have Waterlogged Grove for card cycling. We have Tabernacle as the ruiner of fair decks. I usually don't like to play against that card. We have Maze of Ith similarly to ruin fair decks. We have Lumbering Falls as a hex-proof man land. Real good against a lot of decks. Unfortunately, 3/3 is a poor size, so if opponent has some Elks, we're not really getting through. We have Bojuka Bog. We have Academy Ruins to go and recur our one-of engineered explosives, which can get pretty darn silly come the end game, especially considering that Mox Diamond can give us more than 2 colors, so that we can get something annoying like a True Name Nemesis. And then my favorite new addition to this deck is actually Field of the Dead. So, if you control lands with 7 or more different names, whenever you play a land, you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So why do I love this card so much? Historically, lands tends to eat it pretty hard to rest in peace. You can still combo off through it, it doesn't stop that. But on a lot of the hands where you're really relying on either Life from the Loam or Punishing Fire to win you the game, Rest in Peace just stops those things. So, Field of the Dead means oh, you're planning on beating me with Graveyard Hate? Surprise! I will just go wide of you and ignore that portion of the deck. So I really like this build of lands because you have this great piece of inevitability versus fair decks or control decks if that resolves. You have a plan B against just about everything, and you have this plan C of Field of the Dead. So we're looking to be a sort of combo control deck, but we can really be pretty flexible with all the tools that we have available to us. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really sure about the sideboard. I changed one card from what I posted on Twitter earlier because someone was like, hey, why don't you try out Uro? And then someone else was like, hey, why don't you try out Uro? And I had already been thinking it, so it didn't take a lot to convince me to shove one of those in the deck. That tea is still too hot. That was a mistake. First misplay of the day. So Uro might not be one you're familiar with. So ETB, sacrifice it unless it escaped. When it ETB or attacks, you gain 3 life, draw a card, and can play a land. So it escapes for 4 mana plus 5 cards from your graveyard. So this is something that you can dredge into with Life from the Loam, then play from the graveyard as a threat. And note that it doesn't exile when it dies or anything, so unless it gets Swords to Plowshare or Terminus, it can just come back again and again and again and again. More generally, I think the sideboard's really questionable. I don't know that lands, even in blue, is supposed to be playing all of these counterspells. I kind of like playing to the board when I'm playing a lands deck. But I'm willing to just play a league with this sideboard to see how it goes. I do like the Elvish Reclaimers sort of as another piece of graveyard hate. I know that sounds weird, but you play Elvish Reclaimer on 1, and then starting on turn 2, you have instant speed Bojuka Bog available to you. I don't mind that. I kind of think this deck is lacking in specific hate, but we have very nice generalist cards in this sideboard, so that might be enough to just, like, make it work. Again, not 100% sure, but I feel at least pretty okay that we can make something work with this deck. I think that's all I have to say as far as the deck tech goes. So let's just go ahead and jump into things. Oh, so many things. All right. We want Legacy League. Won a whole bunch of play points playing Splinter Twin last night, which, by the way, was a stellar league and probably one of my favorite leagues I've played in a couple of weeks. So highly recommend the Splinter Twin League from last night if you didn't watch that one. I just decided you were too hot. You're in timeout, T. We'll come back to you in a minute. Things are going real well in the life of Phil. Stream's really having sort of a resurgence, a renaissance this week. Have all sorts of cool things lined up. So we have donations for 12 Post, a Painter's Servant Underworld Breach deck, a High Tide deck, a deck that the creator called Prison in Pink, a Stasis deck, and Blue-Green Omnitel. So, like, the huge variety that Legacy has to offer is on the table. And we're going to be playing a whole bunch of crazy things in the next week or two here. Super excited about it. Beyond that, the people want to see some Enchantress with some new cards. So that's something else that I'm going to have to make happen. Opponent. Alright, we've reached an acceptable but very hot temperature. Is this good? This looks good. We're going to keep this one. So we're really looking to just play against fair decks in Game 1 all day. This'll do. I mean, could be Infect or something like that, but... Alright. So, we go land, exploration, and then there's not really a difference between our lands here, so I'm just going to play one of the ones that enters tapped. I guess Lumbering Falls, it gives us access to blue. Yeah, that's fine. Like, we're going to outpace that very quickly with Life from the Loam. So it appears we're playing against some sort of Maverick deck. Our own Wasteland is fine. Not overly impressive, but fine. We can only use 2 mana this turn. So I think I'm just going to go... Trop, loam that back. And there's worlds where I want to waste import next turn, but I can just do both with exploration. So again, I'll just play a tapped land. So we'll just play the tapped Lumbering Falls now. Not bad. Ooze. That's slightly annoying, but we have the Sylvan Library. So let's get a port out there. Let's get a Field of the Dead out there. Let's play our Sylvan Library. Pass the turn. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different land names. We need 7. So we will have 7 different land names as of next turn. X equals 3, Tireless Tracker, Knight of the Reliquary, Ramunap Excavator. That's very good. I would like to answer that. So it's always yes, always yield. Eh. Can I take 8, go to 8, only take 4 damage next turn? It's a bit sketchy. But I would really like to start making zombies with Field of the Dead. And I can do that if I get this other exploration. I also want to redraw with Waterlogged Grove. I guess I can wait on the Waterlogged Grove. So let's go exploration. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I copy the name with Thespian Stage? I do. So I guess I want to do this like this. That triggers the Field of the Dead. Now, I'll copy the Field of the Dead. Play a new cavern, put that on Giant. Get 2 more zombies. And I've really helped to stabilize the board there. I don't think it's really worth wastelanding them. I think I just want to keep as many lands with different names as possible in case I start running into awkward wasteland situations. I also think you're probably supposed to get rid of the Thespian Stage one, but that's minor. A Batterskull and a Noble Heart. Sure. Oh, buddy. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Getting the Oko is probably worth it. The Waterlogged Grove isn't. That's going to go back. Yeah, I think I'm going to pay life for that. So I get 2 things here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do definitely have enough land, so I could just get another Field of the Dead and, like, Tabernacle. The Tabernacle's awkward. But it's, like, really good against my opponent's board. because they just have like 6 creatures, and I don't really care about my zombies, and I can wasteland my own Tabernacle if I need to at some point. I can also just get Maze of Ith. That's pretty strong. Oh, okay, no, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get Tabernacle and Bog. And I'll just bog them. I guess I should have wastelanded their Savannah prior to doing that. But whatever. Tabernacle is the most inelegant card on all of Magic Online, in my opinion. Okay. More life for me. One, two, three for Oko. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can pay all of that. Actually, I might not pay the last one, so I can leave up the Wasteland. I guess I should have thought about that. Alright, so let's put Exploration on top. Let's put Primeval Titan on top. So I can just take their Batterskull? That's pretty cool. It doesn't take the germ that's attached to it. So I guess that's kind of awkward. I can take their Ooze. I can... No, I'll take their Ramunap. Oh, I guess I'm not quite there yet. How much is this? -5. So I'll want to make a food this turn. I mean, Oko was still great. Let's be real. Is this just the point where I go ahead and blow up my own Tabernacle because it's done its work? It lets my opponent move their Batter Skull, though. But I really just want to cast Primeval Titan on my turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's Primeval Titan. So I could theoretically pay for 2 zombies. Or just ignore them. Yeah, okay. That's fine then. Glad to be shuffling. So let's get a Maze of Ith for a little bit of variety. And another Field of the Dead. Alright, so let's swap my food. Oh, I can't take the Batter Skull. I guess the Ramunap doesn't do me much good because the Ooze eats my Field of the Dead in response. So I will take your Ooze. Seems fine to just get 2 damage in right there. I sort of wonder if my opponent's outs here involve them, like, using Bird to play for Ramunap, and then, like, equipping Ramunap or something like that. I don't know. What do you get to blow up? You get to blow up a Sylvan Library. Yeah, that's fine. Damage is done, friend. Crop rotation. Alright. Pretty sure we win, like, any number of different infinite ways here. Should we just turn a bunch of things sideways? Kind of feels like we should just turn a whole bunch of things sideways. Let's get a Maze of Ith, and I don't know. How about Wasteland, a Thespian stage? I'm having fun playing with my food. I have a 3/3. See ya. Alright, my opponent's had enough of me playing with my food. So we could have won this game any number of ways. Like, I could have just chosen to Dark Depths combo off. I could have chosen to just play to the board like I was doing. We were very, very favored no matter how I chose to win that game. Okay, what is bad versus Maverick? We probably won't cut any lands. I mean, it's a possibility, but most of our cards look good. So, like, Ballista's good. Reclaimer is something that I could consider. This is like a 3/4 that helps to clog up the board. Crossing Grip and Force of Vigor are things that I can consider. Uro is something that I can consider. But honestly, it just kind of feels like what I'm doing is pretty good at beating my opponent. I don't know how much I'm actually going to sideboard. Like, my Cavern of Souls isn't really necessary. That could go for one card. I could cut another land if I want, but just, like, hitting land drops is so good, especially, like, when I have Exploration. I definitely want the Walking Ballista. And, like, I don't think these are bad. But what do I cut? Everything seems good. Can just, like, go down 2 crop rotations to better... to not just fold to an opposing Sylvan Library, piece of equipment, something like that. Pithing Needle on my ideal thing. I'm glad you've been enjoying the content recently. We've had a crazy week. And I'm streaming tomorrow, and, we hit the donation goal tonight. Friday, too. I'm not going to throw back an Exploration hand. That card's really good. So we get to go turn 1 Exploration and then have, like, Port available. Oh, yeah, this is cool. It's like, we get a Forest. We play Exploration. We'll Wasteland them. Cool. So now we threaten a very fast combo. Otherwise, we threaten to just outpace our opponent. Good. Good Mother of Runes attack, friend. I respect that. Force of Vigor. So let's just play like this. I'm not getting anything out of the Rashadan port this turn because I'm not actually going to end up tapping that down. So I'm just going to turn my Thespian stage into a forest. Other way around. Oh yeah, it went very well. They loved it. I got lots of laughs. Stoneford's a little annoying. But definitely not the end of the world. Especially now. So we loam those back. First land for turn is Wasteland. We Wasteland Horizon Canopy. Second land for turn is Rashadenport. Now, longtime fans of the stream, you know what Rashadenport does. It makes people unhappy. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Delicious. Delicious. No, so I talked to them about, like, what they were saying in chats about gatekeeping and what sort of comments they were leaving on, like, articles, YouTube videos, streams, and so forth. And it went over really well. You gotta hook them with some comedy so you can actually get your point across. An underwater bimbo. Interesting. Well, this is a keep. I hear you like Oko. Well, what about Oko on turn 2 instead of turn 1? That's even better. Hmm. That'll discard Ghost Quarter. Do I jam? Do I just, like, get in there and just, like, YOLO it into days? It's weird. Like, playing the Mox will make my exploration worse. You could just, like, Waterlog Grove and then just port them this turn. Well, I don't actually have the ability to play around days as of right now, because I don't have another mana source for next turn. I'd have to draw it. That's the awkward thing about this hand. That's so weird. No, it's not the diamond getting dazed we worry about. It's the Oko getting dazed if I just, like, jam it out. I don't think I can jam it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Exploration into Daze. Because I would love to see that get dazed. It did not get dazed. So I can either port them or I can hold up crop rotation for Wasteland. Don't really care about them having a lightning bolt. This hand was super awkward on a number of different angles. Once we realized we were playing against Delver, I think it was fine before that. The exploration not looking the hottest here. Mr. Parker, I'm not going to go that far to make that assumption, actually. I think my Oko is pretty likely to resolve, but I don't think it's 100%. Nice. Nice. Hey, hey, and welcome. Good Guy Zone and Kinda MTG, as well as Mr. Parker and Lout627 and Dream Crusher. Thank you all for following. Hope you're ready to watch some fools get Primeval tightened. I think I'm okay with doing this. Nice, nice. No, didn't your stifle it? And the bolt? And the bolt. Now what? We're not really in a particular hurry here. But I kind of feel like I should annoy my opponent in some capacity. So I think I'm going to go a little loosey-goosey with this one. Where you at? So I don't technically do anything right now. But I think with Maze plus Tabernacle, I eliminate a lot of my opponent's best ways to, like, realistically be in this game. And since the previous crop rotation resolved, this one is very likely to resolve as well. So I want to use this opportunity to make it so my opponent can't just like go wide of me with Young Pyromancer and things of that nature. I think we just sit on that one. I could convert Maze of Ith into Wasteland to kill a Delver, but that doesn't seem good. Now we're just going to hold that crop rotation for if they Wasteland me. The Delver not flipping there is a little brutal for my opponent. It means they only get in 1 damage this turn. Now I can consider crop rotating into a Wasteland to just kill a Delver. Which, you know, I don't hate. My opponent can't double daze me. They can only daze me once. I can pay for 1 daze. Yeah. We're also going to nug their Volcanic, so they take a damage every turn. Got him! Got him! Lol. Alright, we'll cast that in a couple of turns, win the game. Jam? No reason to jam. Opponent's missing land drops. I'll at least play it around days, if not Pierce. Alright, that's not bad. Now, real question, do I destroy their Wasteland, or do I destroy their blue producer? I think I destroy their Wasteland, because both of these cards are stupid. So they can essentially attack for 3 2 turns in a row through Maze of Ith. There's some inevitability for us. So my opponent can now choose to Brainstorm again via Arcanist instead of just bolting me. They do choose that. Academy Ruins doesn't do anything yet, but it just gets us closer to the correct number of lands for Field of the Dead. I mean, that is why I left them with it. That was the plan. Stamp it. Thank you very much for following. Hope you're enjoying the content here. That's not really what I'm looking for in a draw, but that's okay. That's bad. Repeated lightning bolts are how we lose. Titanship, thank you very much for following as well. So, like, one more lightning bolt and we lose this game, even though we have the creatures on lockdown. Yeah, like, Alome's great, and Oko is pretty good at this point. Alright. Yes, actually. Get him. Get him. So we had decision points that game. I took a couple of aggressive lines that I think were pretty good. They didn't pan out for us, but you know my opponent had 3 bolts to go directly to our dome. Otherwise, they were getting nothing every turn because they never actually connected with a creature. Once I had the Tabernacle in the maze. Okay, so what do I want versus Delver? I tend to like Walking Ballista against that deck. It's pretty decent. Could see Elvish Reclaimer being annoying. Veil of Summer is Veil of Summer, so we'll probably play that. I don't know that I actually want to try to like fight Delver on the counterspell route, though. I don't like crop rotations since it's going to potentially set me up for like getting 2 for 1, so I'm probably going to pull those out. This is not really a Caracas matchup. Could consider just boarding in this for funsies. It's just so bad against like a Daze. Well, I guess kind of. If I dredge into it, the back half of this is kind of cool. I guess my Sylvan libraries are bad, too. I don't want to be paying life for cards. So that can make me justify putting that in there. Alright, so real questions. Do I just leave the Caracas in there to, like, live the weird Uro bounce dreams? Like, play it, sacrifice trigger on the stack, bounce it, rebuy, if I have a crap ton of mana? I don't really love the blue spells, I don't love library, I don't love crop rotation. Yeah? Yeah, why not? Yes. Keep. Land. Exploration. How does this read? This doesn't stop Wasteland, right? Or no, it does. No, hexproof from blue and black. It doesn't. I think I'm going to awkwardly play my Bog so that I can 100% cast Life from the Loam. If I play this and it gets Wastelanded, it's kind of awkward for me. It's a bad proposition for my opponent, but... I think I want to do that. In probably another turn, I can just cast that through Daze and Pierce. So I don't think I just want to jam. Like, Veil is sweet. So we'll just loam with no targets, pass the turn, have a Veil of Summer up, potentially just use it to dredge, do cute things. I wanted you to play a blue spell first. That's so awkward. So this doesn't give it to things in my graveyard, right? Boo. Opponent says cool deck. No, it's draw a card if an opponent casts a blue or black spell this turn. Oh shit, they did. Whoops. Alright, my bad. I didn't really play with this card before earlier this week. That's on me. Surgical's a colorless card. We all know that. Kind of frustrated with myself for that mistake. But it is what it is. We'll pretend I have some good reason. And like super max punished here. Oh wait, no I'm not. Now I can just veil that instead. Or no, it's hexproof from blue and black. Alright, maximum punished. I think I just have to wait until I can play the Oko with Veil in the same turn. What do you mean, how do we win? We still have Primeval Titan in our deck. We still have Field of the Dead in our deck. Like, I made a huge error, but... Like, we're not dead because of it. It just sucks. I also can't jam Oko yet because I don't have blue. Well, we'll get blue once my opponent fetches. Yeah, so like that's exactly the sort of thing that we're looking to copy. Like, do I just want to do it now while it's pretty safe to do so? I don't really need to take Blast Zone up to 2 yet. But I guess I would want to if my opponent plays like Young Pyromancer or Arcanist plus Wasteland. Hey, welcome. I'm glad you joined now, not when I punted a minute ago. It was bad. Okay, so there's a reason to start ticking up a Blast Zone. That's annoying. Oh, our deck is definitely sweet. No doubts there. A Wasteland. Well, that's not bad at all. So now we'll have the option to kill this True Name Nemesis. And our opponent was kind enough not to wasteland my Blast Zone. That's appreciated. So this does not work with Stifle. Or at least it's not supposed to, is perhaps more accurate. I know it stopped Stifle for a little while. I think I'm going to take another True Name hit here and not crack my Blast Zone yet. Very awkward. Trying to work towards this goal of being able to cast an uncounterable Oko via Veil of Summer. We're not doing a great job. Yep. I mean, that is what it is. So now we have the second Oko. So the first one will probably get countered by a daze. Yeah. It does. I mean, but I'm only in this bad position because I messed up this game. And I totally need to own up to that. So, like, I think we would very handily be winning this game if I didn't make a huge error. Is there a lightning bolt in graveyard? No. Am I dead to lightning bolt? I believe so. Yes, I'm dead to lightning bolt. So I take 4 damage this turn. I go to 4. I can EE for 3 to kill the true name. Or I can just play Oko, try to make some food, draw an attack out. Either one's basically dead to daze. And bolt too. And a random abrade or equivalent. So all in all, rough position. Oh yeah, I'm certainly having fun. We got to play with our food the first round, and that was really cool. We made a bajillion D zombies. I mean, Oko holds a lot of strange decks together, that's for sure. Smash the smithereens, huh? Well, you bet I'm going out on my own terms. All right. We still had to win another one there, but we probably could have forced a game 3 pretty easily. All right. I will be back in 1 minute. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. All right. Sorry about the delay there, but I'm drinking a lot of tea these days. Is the shield supposed to have a color? I think I set it up so the color of the shield changes depending on how long you've been around for. And I should know which color is which, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember. Not the best sign for a content creator to forget some of their own features of their channel. But whoops. So I think it's pink at 3 months, black at 1 month, and I don't know, maybe it's like gold at a year. Some of the old regulars probably have that by now. I don't remember if it's a year or 6 months. Your Dread of Night Shield. Those are fighting words, friend. Those are fighting words. But you played plenty of Dread of Nights, so like I guess that's fair. So for anyone who's new to the stream, hi, I'm Phil Gallagher. I run Thraben University, a site for legacy, death, and taxes. Today we are playing a really sweet Primeval Titan lands deck. We're currently 1-1. We ate a lot of people with zombies in round 1. And then we got Delvered in round 2. I want to try to get an Uro into play tonight. You know, this little thing is like $50 on Moto. Did not expect that. It's fine, because my friends at Card Hoarder hooked me up with whatever I need to borrow. But I looked at that and it was like, wow, that's more than an Oko. What a world we live in. And on that note, super happy Oko is back to a more reasonable value now so that I can more easily stream with them. I mean, I would have been ecstatic to sell a new card for 30 ticks. Like, that's great. Like, such value. Is Uro just a chase mythic? Like, is it actually good in something in like standard and or modern, and that's it is like actually being driven up? Because I have a feeling that card has got to be good somewhere. You know, look at this cute little cat thing. So I don't have a Loam. I don't have an Exploration. But I do have an Oko and half the combo and a great mid-range card, as well as something to buy time if my opponent is a fair creature-based deck. I think this is fine. Yeah, our hand will probably be fine against whatever deck this is. Your Chalice resolves. Are you a Wasteland deck too? We can get turn 3 Oko playing around Wasteland, so might as well. Ooh. Ooh. I don't think I can resist that. That's a 2-for-1 that nugs one of their mana sources. Since I can't remove the Bob this turn, I'm in. The Cardboard Live extension should be able to show all of that. Yeah, so you can scroll down to see all of the lands if you can't get them all on screen at once. I think Loam's really good right now. More generally, I think Chalice of the Void decks are really good right now. No, we're going to turn Bob into an elk. Like, unquestionably. That's how we're answering Bob. Oh, Port's very good. I can use that to keep them off of casting their Oko. All right, so they are loam. Them having another natural wasteland here would be devastating. Okay, good. So now they'll cast loam. They'll get back 3 lands, which isn't good for us. But we can potentially not just get wastelanded into oblivion. All right, so they have Verdant Wasteland and Heath. And now I can Oko. The issue is that they are going to Oko as well. We have 1 basic forest and 1 snow-covered forest, so this can get me a basic later. So I think I am going to go ahead and play this for my blue source. So we've stopped this angle of card advantage. My opponent has a fetch land in hand, so they can get blue to get their own Oko. And their Oko is going to be better than my Oko. Oh, did Moto crash? It appears Moto has crashed. Oh, no. Just this game? Yes, Moto crashed. Sorry, folks. It's actually the first time in a very, very long time Moto has crashed on me. Okay, so we lost all of our card art, and a bunch of my permanents are randomly gone now. Alright, what happened? So my opponent cycled, wastelanded me, abrupt decayed my Oko, attacked me with an elk. That's a disaster. So now all of my permanents are just going to get wastelanded down. I can't really win this game unless I draw an exploration. But like my opponent's going to get to play an Oko on their turn or wasteland me. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw the towel here. Alright, I don't usually swear on stream, but that one deserves one. That was the most, like, bullshit response I've ever seen from Wizards. Like, our program is so bad that you have to restart your client in order to continue playing it. Like, big yikes. Okay, so what do we want against Loam? This seems fine. This picks off Bobs and maybe smaller planeswalkers. I don't hate it. My Elvish Reclaimers are probably okay. Like, they're as good as crop rotations, probably better. I can consider, like, Pierce, Force of Vigor, Crypt as well. I think I'll play the Crypt. Like, winning the Graveyard War seems like a great way to take over the game. I could probably cut my Caracas. I can probably cut the Tabernacle. Like, there's worlds where I sweep some food off the table, but usually my opponent is only going to have 1 or 2 creatures. And then we can, like, trim some of this crop rotation stuff. The Elvish Reclaimers are essentially replacing them. This hand does nothing. Keep. Discard Mox Diamond. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so I'm keeping this. So the question is, do I just want to go... So I can go land, I can go Trop, Exploration, fetch a green source, Exploration, play Wasteland, play turn 2 Sylvan Library. Or alternatively, I could keep the Mox Diamond and pitch 1 Exploration and go turn 1 Exploration and Sylvan Library. That's better, right? Just like Mox, pitch Wasteland, use Mox, cast Exploration, play 2 lands. Yeah, that's just better. By the way, just in case it happens for the clip, this would be a savage Force of Vigor situation. Nice. GG. Yeah, basically did not matter what I drew there. I would have, like, just paid 8. Just get cards back after a start like that. The start was, as they say, dece. Yep. Keep. Opponent mulligan, opponent mulligan. We'll be looking to draw another green source. What do you got, opponent? Naked Loam? Chalice? Chalice. I think I'm just going to play a Sylvan Library this turn. It's tempting to support them, though. But I think I need to keep hitting my land drops. Because these are dead, and I need to work towards hitting this to probably win the game. Yeah, you just want like 1 exploration a game. They've been sticking to my hand pretty badly. So the upside of playing the Sylvan Library is that I'm not nearly as just dead to Wasteland on my Waterlogged Grove. All right. So life's awkward. I might just cast the Naked Loam. I don't love it, but we have a combo piece, and just drawing lands means that I can do my thing via exploration. And again, if we make it to 6 lands and we like actually get to fetch some stuff with Primeval Titan, we probably end up far enough ahead that we just win. Opponent notably does not have access to blue mana yet. That is a kick in the teeth. So we will not dredge there. Well, we now succeed in making my opponent hold up their Caracas forever or they die. That was a very good turn for them. A very good turn for them. I really need more mana here. I think I need them to mess up. They figured it out. So this has been a game where everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. So like the ley line right after I played the Naked Loam was devastating. The Wasteland, in addition to the Caracas, was devastating. The library to dig them through to exactly what they need was like basically unbeatable as well. Okay, this is a start again. So we'll have to tap down the Caracas eventually. So we don't lose to another Wasteland. I'm just going to go ahead and get a forest right here. So our opponent should theoretically never take damage to their Dark Confidant if they play well with their Sylvan Library. Really? Okay. So we're all about this Primeval Titan now. We're 1-1 currently, Chris. I think we're about to be 1-2 though. Oh, I think we're going to be dead before we get the chance to do much more. I think my opponent is going to play Oko, make some food, and kill us. One, two, three, four, five. All right, one more. One more land and we can get there. Our opponent has a chalice. Sure, that's fine. So I guess I am representing lethal for my opponent, right? Because like I port down Caracas, I fetch, I use Waterlogged Grove in this to copy Dark Depths, and then I reshot and port down Maze of Ith. I guess I am representing lethal. I don't really think that's going to happen given how many cards my opponent gets to look at, but like it is something that can technically occur. Opponent has 3 cards, one of which is Chalice of the Void. Legacy's awesome right now. Best it's been in a long time, in my opinion. They are potentially dead here. They can have Assassin's Trophy to not be dead, or Swords to Plowshares. I think I'm going for it. I will keep the one without counters. Are we stealing this? So you remember that spot a minute ago where I said I thought we were dead? Turns out that was a lie. I just thought for sure they were going to have something. Like, there were so many things I was dead to. Like, I guess Swords to Plowshares doesn't work because they have a Chalice in play. But, like, an Assassin's Trophy does it. Like, a Wasteland does it. Huh, alright. I mean, I'm obviously thrilled about that. I just didn't... I didn't expect to just win there. Alright, water bottle refill. Go, go, go. Yeah, we take those as exactly right, Lord Darkview. I'm borrowing my girlfriend's water bottle because mine is dirty and gross from being sick. And I really need, like, one of those sweet little scrubby brush things to go and clean it properly. But I haven't bothered to get one of those yet. So until then, I don't have a water bottle big enough that it gets me through a stream. Hashtag first world problems. Yeah, so just, yeah, we'll save that for in between rounds. Yeah, so I tried that, but I just have, like, accrued gunk. just from being sick. It's not great. Yeah, I drink a lot of tea. I don't love my hand, but I do love Sylvan Library. Therefore, we keep. Girlfriends are great. Ooh! Ooh! My opponent has any counterspell. This eats it. This card's so good. Force, pitch, force, so we haven't gained any additional information about what our opponent is doing. I think the hydrochloric acid will probably eat the bottle. I don't know what kind of plastic it is. But it's probably not great for me. So Tundra as an opening card is sort of interesting, right? Because like something like Miracles would really, really try not to do that. So I wonder what we're playing against. Fire would probably kill the germs. That's for sure. But I would question the integrity of my bottle afterwards. If we're playing against some sort of breach deck, then holding up crop rotation for Bog is really good. But if we're just playing against like any fair blue deck, then slamming Sylvan Library is stupid. I am going to slam Sylvan Library. I don't want to get tunnel visioned on thinking my opponent is like a combo deck when they're really not. And just play super suboptimally because of it. Alright, so it is probably breach. See if we die for not holding up crop rotation. Yeah, the issue is mostly the angle, though. Alright, so Storm is 2 currently. Alright, they have the brain freeze. They brain freeze themselves. We should be deterministically dead. Assuming they hit an LED. Which they did not. Not 100% sure how the math checks out with Lotus Petals. It's going to be 6 cards for them to re-brain freeze. Yeah, so now I'm probably dead. I'm going to wait for them to brain freeze themselves one more time, just so I can go and see, like, are they a silence build? Are they a force of will build? That sort of thing is very useful to me for playing out the next game. So it looks like they are E-tutors in their build. They have a grinding station. That's good to know about. And Thassa's Oracle is the win condition as expected. So I just told my opponent that I'm going to just concede after they freeze themselves again. Okay, so Force of Will, Pact of Negation, a Seal of Removal, Force of Will, Freeze. Okay, so it looks like they're a hybrid build that has both counter spells and some silence effects. Alright, so we did lose for not holding up the crop rotation there, but I do not regret it. Nah, I don't care about snipping. That's totally fine. Like, we have enough info. I guess these are even fine, right? I have a whole pile of things I can bring in. So I don't want EE. I don't want Maze of Ith. I don't want Blast Zone. Tabernacle's still fine for goblins. I'll keep that. I guess by the same logic, EE is fine for the goblins. So how am I winning? I'm probably winning via combo. I'm just going to win via combo over time. I can probably cut some of my win conditions. And then I still just have, like, too much crap. So I probably can't bring in all of this. This is still way too many cards. Do I just, like, really go this direction? And just say, like, I am killing you with the combo or with Field of the Dead eventually? I could also just, like, cut one more mana-producing land instead of a Mox Diamond. I think I'm going to cut a diamond, though. Reclaimer is another way to have access to Bog. Yeah, this is fine. Veil is probably very good, in fact. I wish I had one more green source in this hand so I could be holding up crop rotation from turn 1. But you can't have it all. Top with Preordain. So that's scary. So we're off to a pretty good start. We have 4 mana in play on turn 2. We have a piece of disruption available to us. By no stretch of the imagination would I say that we are safe. But we have interaction. And I think I'm just going to thin my deck here. Just a tiny bit. Opponent can respond to that if they want. I am totally fine with that. Yes, I will dredge that. But they're not the things I'm looking to dredge. Alright. Enlightened Tutor can find Underworld Breach, and they can start to do their thing. Yep. Ponder's fine. Note that if we dredge over either combo piece, we have a potential kill by crop rotating for the other piece. No shuffle, they take the card. So again, we'll fetch. Are we really out of fetchables already? 2 forests, 2 tropical islands? We have a regular island? Did I already mill that or something? Oh no, I don't have regular basic island. Neat. It's your boy Windswept Heath here, along with Misty Rainforest. It's a little disappointing. I mean, obviously, I'm going to take them. So I have 1, 2, 3 different names. This will be 4 or 5 different names, and we'll just keep those in play. So now we have some very good crop rotation targets. Just throwing it out there. Alright, you Enlightened Tutor. That's fine. You're just going to put another Underworld Breach on top? A Lion's Eye Diamond on top, so you can mill into it. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Alright, Life from the Loam. Hey, there we go. There we go. I appreciate you working with me here. Depths, stage, falls. 1, 2. Get 'em. In we go. With stage, depths. Win through crop rotation or die. It took it a few turns, but Lum got there. Yes. Okay. I know you have the LED. Yeah. So what exactly does grinding station do? Are they just sacrificing the grinding station to itself? Or do they just sack the LED to mill themselves? I see. Okay, so they can then use the 3 cards that they milled to untap the grinding station. Replay LED. So grinding station plus LED allows them to mill out. This is 3, correct? And Underworld Breach is also 3. Or no, so it doesn't cause them to mill, but it causes them to just stay at the same amount, but with selection. And at some point, they can just sack the grinding station to itself. So the question is, do I just crop rotate away their Lion's Eye Diamond here? Seems like a fine opportunity too. But I'm also not sure that I need to. So what they have now doesn't actually just win them anything. I think I'm going to hold the crop rotation for a little bit longer. Alright, you have LED again. That's fine. Yes, you can untap the grinding station. Alright, you mill some cards. So now they find brain freeze. So this time, in response to them casting the LED, I guess this is where I bog them, because otherwise they brain freeze themselves. Do I care if they brain freeze themselves, though? As weird as that sounds. Like, they only have 3 mana. So if I bog them here, they still have, like, the LED to cycle through, but then they have nothing in the graveyard to get it back. Yeah, so it doesn't do me any good to do this here. Yeah, so I let them keep going. And so then they'll crack for blue, they'll brain freeze themselves. And then in response to the final brain freeze, I do it. Okay, so they've sacked their grinding station, so the shenanigans stop now. So it's a brain freeze that targets them. So they've cracked an LED for white. Are they gonna, Orms chant me in response, make me crop rot now? They are. Well played by the opponent. Get out of the way, Stack. So they do need to hit at least somewhat well to continue. They found both LED and brain freeze, so I think they do get me. So I can make a 20/20 But they should be able to just brain freeze and kill me in upkeep. So I guess well played by my opponent. We lost that one. I'll rewatch the VOD later and see if I could have actually won this one. But now my opponent just gets to mill us out. They very easily have the storm count too, as well as the mana too. We definitely stumbled that game. Like, I was missing on my life from the loams, so I did not have, like, basically the possibility to do anything other than just hold up the crop rotation for Bog. So it became pretty obvious that that's what I had. And that just kind of, like, is what it is. But I also might have just messed up. Like, it's possible that, like, when they were doing the LED cycling, that I could have broken it up there, and it would have been better than what I was doing by waiting. But I did not think of the line of have them have a second LED, crack it for another color in response to their own brain freeze, silence me. I was expecting to be able to get them in response to the brain freeze. All right, folks, so I just want to throw it out there. We have not received any subs today. If we end up with 3 today, we will end up doing a Friday stream. We already have a Thursday stream guaranteed. That was a donation goal from last Thursday, was that we would run back another Thursday stream. Oh, hey, and a little bit of prompting, and there we go. There's the first one. It's B-Dub Nuka. Thank you very much for throwing your Twitch Prime support this way. I really do appreciate it. We're now 1 of 3 there. We are playing against Stryfo. So we'll probably have a nice long match. I don't think my hand is necessarily amazing. But I don't think you can throw away an Now our hand is absolutely amazing. Finishing the thought, I don't think you can throw away an exploration hand. White faces, did you treat someone badly? Did you make Stryfo hurt with some stupid hexproof cards? Because it sure sounds like that's what happened. Am I just playing Oko here into some sort of counter magic? Nah, probably not. Ooh, Assassin's Trophy, the Exploration. Sure. I'll put a snow-covered forest into play. I'll get back 2 lands. I only get to play 1 here, but that's probably fine. I see. I see. Evening. Alright. It's coming. I'll telegraph it. What are you going to do about it? Faden, greatest thief in the multiverse. Get Wasteland there. That's awfully tempting. If I still had the exploration, like 100%, that's easy. Yeah, I'll just go for making my big dumb idiot. If it doesn't work, I'll play Oko. Or should I just play Oko now? And just have the Dark Depths looming. That's not bad either. Nope. That doesn't cast it like that. A Force of Will. Force Pitch Ponder. Sure. That's A-okay with me. So Stryfo has Dak Faden to loot towards beating the Dark Depths combo, but I can just keep doing it. And I don't know that that's going to be particularly beatable. Sure. Opponent has lots of fun things, yes. So I can also cast Life from the Loam here. Right, there's 2 mana, plus I have the ability to copy it. Hold up, though. Do I need to just blow up my opponent's food? So my opponent will probably see that line, just like eating food keeps him alive from a Merit Lodge hit. Does that matter if they just give me a 3/3? I just whack them again. Wait, hold on. Is my opponent Hellbent? Oh, crap. I didn't notice that. My bad, chat. Sorry, that took longer than it should have. Oh, sorry, I missed the bits. Norel, thank you very much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Hope you're having a good day. Want to find Jace off the top? Because that is a savagely good top deck. Oh, Uro. Which also puts my opponent to above 21. But that's okay. So, like, we can bounce this thing, which is awkward. But I guess fine. So I can crop rotation something into a wasteland. Start wastelanding my opponent. Bounce Uro. Or I guess I just make a Merit Lodge if my opponent attacks with it. Could also just get Field of the Dead. So I can go 2, loam back some things. Wait, hold on. Did I already play land? No, I didn't play land. Yeah, so I can loam back 1, 2, 3. And I can just make a tentacle monster if my opponent attacks. So opponent could have something like Jace Bounce or something like that. You know, there's definitely things that can beat the Merit Lodge. My opponent can also just survive a turn. Opponent could Oko the Merit Lodge. Toxic Deluge it. Spicy. Ghost Quarter, Depths, Stage, let's go. The Uro comes back from the graveyard because I just blocked it. That's something to keep in mind. I can keep them off of green for it. Don't mind the Mox Diamond at all. Discard Misty. Play Dark Depths. Pass the turn. Tap down the green source again. Sure. We'll take the Snapcaster hit here. We don't want to expose our next Merit Lodge to like a Jace or Oko. Sure. We'll do it again. That's fine. Stage, depths, I guess a wasteland. Green and 1, yes. I guess I need to continue to keep them off of the Uro coming back because that's an annoyance. But I'll do that by porting. Yeah, not bad, not bad. I don't think I'll play the Oko here. I think I'll just, like, go for it again. So this is Dark Depth combo plus Rashad Port. Somewhat surprised to see my opponent not leaving up the 3 mana for Brazen Borrower. It seems like them chump block, or wait, can this not block? No, it can't block. Hello. So my opponent attacks with Brazen Borrower. They do get a block with it. They can potentially have Oko as an out. Oh no, I messed it up. I had it this turn. I needed to main phase port down one of their lands, so they couldn't hardcast Brazen Borrower to block. Yeah, he'd cast in response, but then I could Oko it and turn it into a non-flyer. So definite error on my part. Just like objectively had it last turn. Gave my opponent one more draw step than I needed to. Alright, what are we playing against Strifopile? Uro seems great. Ballista to pick off Walker seems great. Veil of Summer seems fine. Tormod's Crypt seems fine. I don't really know that I want to board more bodies. So what lands don't I want? Outside of Uro, it doesn't really seem like this is a Maze of Ith matchup for me. think I'll keep Caracas. Tabernacle probably not great. So I think our defensive lands aren't really where we want to be. I think we're looking to win this game via Field of the Dead in most cases rather than the combo. Because as we saw there, my opponent can fight through the combo like surprisingly well. We have EE for their walkers. The libraries are great. The loams are fine. I think we're slightly less concerned with playing these into counter magic. Yeah, I imagine this is a good matchup. And I don't think we want to try to fight them on the stack. I don't remember if I did it. I don't think I did Everyday Eternal. We're going to keep this hand. I've been a guest on a handful of podcasts. All right. So we'll go land, exploration. That resolved. So we'll cast a Mox Diamond. Discard a port. Play a Wasteland. Cast a Loam. Target that. Oh, that's all we get this turn. Next turn, though, will probably be pretty sick. I think I've done leaving a legacy twice. I've done Legacy's Allure. Done a few others. Oko? Or just continue. So I can play 3 mana. I can use 2 mana to cast Loam. Then I can play 2 lands and then cast Oko afterwards. Yeah. So we'll start here. Who cares if we're exposing Loam to Surgical? We're getting pretty darn far ahead. Like, if our opponent Surgical's Loam now, when we already have 5, 6 mana available, I think that's okay. Like, it's good for them, but it's not the end of the world for me. Nice. So I will Wasteland you. I will loan back 3 things. I will play an Exploration. I guess I could have played this out in a way where I got to port my opponent. Hey JD, welcome. Opponent getting a lot of look for a piece of graveyard hate for my Loam. And they found one. Pretty strong for them. Oh, we're certainly getting an interesting game. Which basic do I need to take my opponent off of? Them having my Mox Diamond makes this whole thing awkward. Blue is probably the one that they will use the most. I don't know how many basics they have. Not enough basics is the answer. Is this card good? This card seems good. Force pitch a Snapcaster Mage. That's fine. We got our value. I don't think I'm going to give up 2 Wastelands for the Polluted Delta. I'm going to wait till my turn to Wasteland them. How many different names do I have? 1, 2, 3. I only have 4 different names, but Field of the Dead will be very good. Alright, so my opponent has a Cling to Dust. It's going to be annoying. It's like they have so many cards in their graveyard. Do I just want to port the Swamp again, or do I want to port Delta and then try to Wasteland it? I think I'm just going to continue to port them normally. Yeah, so they'll go for 4 mana to Cling to Dust again. And that's all fine and dandy. One, two, three, four, five, 6 different names. So Field of the Dead starts doing things as of next turn. I just often use they. Don't read too much into that. I guess are we just nugging their graveyard here? It gets rid of Cling to Dust, Punishing Fire, and a lot of other potential options for later on. I guess that's fine. This is 4 to flashback, right? Yeah. You had your fun. So 1, 2, 3. I guess I want to wasteland my opponent once. I don't want to do it twice because I want to keep one card named Wasteland in play. Lazy sequencing on my end, too. Uro's pretty good. Leovold, also an annoyance. Not in love with some of the things that can occur here. So this is cool. I don't know if you know how this one works, but Assassin's Trophy can't target one of your own things, so you can actually use it to steal an Oko. Alright. It begins. So there's the Uro coming down. I really need to draw like Primeval Titan or something like that here. No, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have exactly 7, and if I fetch, I lose one of my named things. Also, do I have something to fetch? I have 2 forests, 2 tropical islands. No, my fetch doesn't actually get anything. That also says an opponent's control. Cute. 6, 9, 6, 12, 13, 14. Exact. No, I have 15. Well, I guess I won't do that yet. Like, make my opponent do it. Yeah, that's the line that kills me. GG. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep everything as is. I think we're definitely favored, but things didn't break well for us. Hello, hello. Since we're nearing the tail end of this match, I just want to throw it out there. We have one of our three donations towards our donation goal of a Friday stream. We're going to use our life total very aggressively so we can put some things into play with Uro. Yeah, sorry, subs. Mox Diamond we'll put back. I'm just going to take these. Just going to take these. In retrospect, I needed to take the Mox Diamond to get another color. I'm trying to be cognizant of my clock here. We're not doing a very good job. Or that can just happen instead. I don't think I'm going to go for it yet. Exploration we'll put back. Field of the Dead we'll put back as well. So I can go 1, 2, 3 for Oko, and then have 1, 2, 3 available for stage depths as well. Yeah, that's fine. So if I had more time on my clock, I would have played that differently, and I would have like just waited another turn. But I'm totally fine just like trying to make my opponent have it here. I have Sylvan Library plus like Uro as a backup plan. So opponent could have Assassin's Trophy as one of the only things that gets me there. GG. Okay, so we end up with a 3-2 on the league. All right, so thoughts. Shell, yeah, I'll show you the queue in a minute. Shell seems pretty good. So very happy with a lot of things here. Fine and Andy, thank you very much for gifting 2 subs there, and that is going to go and get us a Friday stream as well. Very much appreciated. Okay, so let's do sort of a deck debrief, and then let's go and talk about what's going to come up over the next couple of days. So, things that I loved. In this shell, I love the Field of the Dead. I think it's very, very powerful, great for the end game, gives you something that doesn't rely on the graveyard. I think the Okos were awesome. You know, it's Oko, it does a lot of things. It helps stabilize the board, and it's a wonderful distraction from your primary plan. Yeah, Strifo. Definitely was looking at my clock and not playing optimally in Game 3 there. So in response to your ponder, I probably should have Thespian staged my Dark Depths so you couldn't draw Assassin's Trophy as an out to that. So that was poor on my end. Yeah, yep, that's exactly that. I started talking about it right after you started pondering. And I also really liked the Primeval Titan. I like it on a couple of different fronts. Number one, it's a double tutor piece for combo. Number two, as we saw in our first match of the night, when you play Field of the Dead, like Primeval Titan fetching 4 zombies plus 2 lands is pretty crazy. And if you have another Field of the Dead, or if you've copied it with Thespian Stage, it just gets even more ridiculous. Not actually sure about the sideboard that I submitted tonight, though. Kind of from the get-go, I was a little leery of this sideboard, and I wasn't sure if it was actually good. So, like, these counterspells did not feel good pretty much all night, even when we played against combo. So I would look at revisiting this entire sideboard and comparing it to other, like, blue-green or bug sideboards, and see if we can end up with something better. So, like, the Uro was fine, the Force of Vigors, the Corrosive Grips, the Veils, those are fine. But as far as, like, this side of the equation goes, I'm not sure if this is what's optimal. There were so many turns where I was using my mana to, like, Oko, Loam, Port, and things of that nature, that I'm not sure holding up counterspells is really where you want to be. Yeah, Primeval Titan also having Grave Titan abilities is pretty silly. Okay, as far as the queue goes, so now we have a Thursday stream and a Friday stream as well. I have most of them over here. So we have a... Is that visible to you on the left side? No, I need to drag it over more. Okay. So in the queue here, we have 12 post. We have a White Faces Painter deck that I don't have the deck list for, but I have a tweet to, and White Faces will send me that list. We have a deck list, or sorry, a donation for High Tide. And it looks like it's the Springtide version with Meditate and Cunning Wish. We have a donation for a Stasis deck that also uses our good friend Oko, because hey, why not? This one's a little creature heavier than you might be used to. although it also does play the traditional Root Maze combo as well as Forsaken City. And we have a deck that was called Prison in Pink by the person who submitted it. Chalices and an Emrakul here too that aren't visible, so let's drag more of that onto the screen. Sorry, losing my voice there a little bit. Excuse me. So this one is sort of a mashup of red prison and a white, like, planeswalker deck. So it's very much in a weird middle ground between them. And then I don't have a deck list yet, but I have one other deck list for Omniscience. So those are the things that are coming up. I also have a guest stream with someone else in the future, and at some point I promised that I'd get Daryl Ayers on here. But I'm going to do that once I'm 100% better and I'm done coughing, because I'd like that stream to be of good quality with, you know, minimal interruptions from me hacking and coughing, because people are probably going to rewatch that one in the future. So thank you all for the crazy support that you've given me over this week so far. I've really appreciated it. You know, doing my best to make some awesome Legacy content. I think I convinced everyone on the Legacy subreddit to let me post VODs again, so that's cool. Looking forward to that. It'll be way easier to find things to watch over my lunch break. So thank you all for your support, and if you're really enjoying what I'm doing, consider subscribing, you know, donating, doing something to support the stream. I'll be back tomorrow with something. I haven't decided what I'm going to play yet, but I'll be looking forward to it. I'm going to turn you over to my friend Goblin Lackey now for, presumably, some Hot Goblins action.